And just like that, we're back for Pulse number 4 here at CUZZO-OP. My name is Isaiah, also known as IV around these parts, and I am joined by my brother, my cousin, my boy.
Arrow, also known as Willie.
Yes, sir. We're here to throw another Pulse at you. If you are new to Pulse and this is your first one, just know we're going to give you a little bit of our finger on the pulse of entertainment news. What's going on in gaming? What's going on in movies? What's going on in TV? That's what you get, a quick glimpse of what's going on for those who need that education and want to hear a couple thoughts bounced off it. So today we've got a couple different things on the agenda. I think we're going to start off with some gaming today, bro. We're going to start off with some gaming today.
All right.
The illustrious and highly criticized PS5 Pro officially dropped as of November 7th. So I want to hear, what did you hear about this? Have you been paying attention to the reviews that are being released and stuff?
I've not been paying attention to this whatsoever. The way I treat these Pro consoles, I don't really care. I've only got a PS4 Pro from someone who didn't want theirs anymore. So when they gave it to me, I was like, thanks. And I used it. And I have no want to go get a PS5 Pro unless my PlayStation I've had since day one of the PlayStation 5 life cycle decides to just quit. Is it on its way there? I have no idea. But yeah, I haven't paid attention much to it. But I did get an interesting text from you earlier in the week. So you want to tell the people what you said to me?
So I went ahead and I purchased this bad boy. Okay. I bought it after watching some reviews. Actually, it was not even full. The embargo hadn't released when I purchased it. So the embargo reached, I think it lifted up like 24 hours after. So I've been watching reviews since, and I now have the system here sitting next to me. It's the same shit, folks. It's the same shit. It's not worth it unless you have an 8K TV and you prefer gaming on that level of an experience. That's really how you can have the ability to appreciate it. So Isaiah, why would you buy it? Why do you justify it? Well, I got alternate reasons. You don't know my reasons, and you don't need to know my reasons. Christmas coming up. That's all I'll say. But at the end of the day, what I am excited about with this system is, if you look at when the PlayStation 4 came out, it was in 2013, and PlayStation 5 dropped 2020. So we're looking at a 7-year gap. They're saying that gap may not be as long for our next generation to get a PS6, but I know that this PS5 Pro is going to definitely take me through the next 3-4 years, strong and sturdy. Whatever comes out, it's going to perform well. I don't have to worry about anything. And so I put my peace of mind in that concept. I am one of those guys who got the PS4 Pro, and I gave my PS4 to my little brother. So, it's a hierarchy thing. It's like, let's take a next step up so the guy behind me can take a step up too type vibe. That's why I got it. But if you don't have any other reasons for it, and you just want to, it doesn't make sense. And I think the reviews do make a lot of sense. Even the AI rendering of PS4 games, minor differences here and there. One thing I will say that I do like, though, is Spider-Man 2 stuff where you can have that fidelity while having the 60 FPS. That is a nice concept. Once you play 60, it's hard to go back to 30 unless you're playing a game like Last of Us or Uncharted where you want to feel cinematic. But outside of that, man, it's the same shit.
I mean, it opens up the door for conversations about like console generations and, can we continue to just drop new consoles that'll have a jump in quality, or is the quality jump going to start feeling less and less? I think it's crazy for them to come out and say that it might take less time for a new console to drop, because if anything, you would think with all the work you put in and the limits that the PS5 can go to, you might want to wait even longer.
Right.
And it also will start begging the question of, if you're going to start dropping new consoles so close together and my console that I have now can take it, why do I need to jump with you?
But it's the same concept as Apple, right? They drop a new phone every year. They drop a new MacBook every year. They made a new M4 chip that just came out, and they didn't even do a real presentation for it. They just did a week of new products that are getting updated with this new chip. And it's 15% increase from the M3 chip. So it's there's an entertainment, or let's say tech standard, we buy into this machine as consumers. I'm the super consumer. That's what
I was going to say, you are kind of the go-to consumer in my mind for this kind of stuff.
As a result, I just played my role. But at the end of the day, isn't any of this necessary? No, not at all. And I agree. But we're also on the edge of some new announcements. Like, we know the Switch 2 is going to come out soon. We're going to get an announcement for that probably this holiday season. I wouldn't be surprised. Xbox is going to have to respond to this Pro in some way, shape, or form. So it'll be interesting to see what it stokes up. I was talking to my barber, though, and he was like, what I hate about this drop is the PS4 Pro drop. It came with an announcement of some games. I'm pretty sure the Lost Legacy from Uncharted came out around the same time, and it was one of the things that it tied to the release of the platform. I wish that PlayStation did some of that. It does feel like there's a lull in connecting why the product is important with the games. But, I mean, I still bought it, though. So.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see if there's any justification as to why this PS5 Pro dropped, especially amongst the wave of thoughts and questions from fans about if the PlayStation 5 has even done anything close to what the PS4 did in its time with titles and technology. It'll just have to wait and see.
We'll see. It'll be an ongoing conversation.
All right. So up next, I want to talk Call of Duty, bro. We have had a few conversations about COD. Who's getting it? Who's not getting it? I said I wasn't going to get it. You said you weren't going to get it. Then you told me on live in 4K that you bought it.
Yeah.
And then I was reminded that I actually have a really good PC and that I could play this on Game Pass off of PC. I don't ever really resort to thinking like that because I just don't. I don't know why.
Right.
But someone reminded me like, yo, no, you built your PC and it's pretty good. Try it. So I played it. And because I've already been subscribed to Game Pass, I didn't have to give up anything extra, which was nice. Which is a conversation about Game Pass that either we've had before, we deeply need to have, that I have my thoughts and feelings on.
Conversation. We need to.
But overall,
we need a Sony versus Xbox conversation.
Yeah, sure. I've played it. I've played it a lot. You've played it. You've played it a lot. And so let's talk about it.
You played it more than me.
I've absolutely played it more than you.
You did you Prestige last night? Or are you still Prestige? You still on your way?
Oh, I'm about to hit Prestige 2.
Jesus, peas and rice. He's playing it.
Double XP, baby. Last weekend was double XP. All this to say, Call of Duty and spending $70 on this, I'm still not there.
You're tripping. You're tripping.
I'm still not there. But I'm glad that if I were to, I have my friend that I could go half and half with.
Sure.
But I think it's just because they have their season stuff now. They're moving battle passes. They're kind of move waves like that. And so the new season starts up next week. And so maybe with that idea, I could understand being more inclined to drop the 70. But I don't like the Call of Duty hub idea because I don't know if you know, like these are all now just part of Call of Duty's hub that started with Modern Warfare 2. So it's all under one branch. So it's not like a new release. So that's kind of annoying to me.
Yes.
Especially when things don't necessarily transfer over from one game to another. Nope. But for my experience of having it on Game Pass, it's way more than worth it. And I think the more stuff that comes out, the more worth it'll be. But I just also remember 10 years ago when it was a whole year map laid out for you that you could look at on day one. So when you spent that 60 and then the extra for the season pass, you had a little bit more of an understanding of what you were getting with your money versus here, you kind of have to go in and hope that you like the maps that are coming, that there are even maps coming, that there are even multiplayer modes coming, which is why I say what I say about the $70. But for the free Game Pass, I'm living it right now. I'm loving it. And will I get it on PlayStation is the next question at any point? Maybe.
Black Friday.
But I can afford to wait for that now, thanks to Game Pass and the PC. And I've been having a blast straight up. To say that it is probably my favorite Call of Duty to release in years, maybe. I don't know. I can't speak to favorites yet. I haven't cracked the Easter eggs and zombies. I haven't played the campaign yet. I'm hearing mixed reviews, but in terms of multiplayer and zombie time, I've been on it, and it's been a fun time, despite still having a lot of problems with the way zombies is held and what they're doing with it.
Yeah, man.
So how you feel?
I agree with a lot of your sentiments. I think, yeah, man, I just think this multiplayer is incredible. And I part of me is scared that it's only as great as it is because it's removed from Battle Pass culture right now, as is, like it's the day zero type timing before it really launches off for real. And I always have thought that the Battle Pass inclusion has ruined what makes Call of Duty special. But at the same time, I also recognize that's just the reality of gaming. We've been in this state of the Battle Pass culture. And, we got to come back and spin the block on Fortnite and talk about how that has been a positive and a negative in some senses. But I feel like the Battle Pass, if they do it right and they keep it in the same posture as some of these other competitive games like Rogue Company, and they don't try to muddy up the multiplayer's experience because of your lack of use of the Battle Pass, which it's kind of set up right now to not let that happen, which is what's cool. We've gotten back to the roots of you level up to a certain degree, you unlock a gun, you unlock a new lethal, a new tactical, you unlock a score streak, even an operator, like that's cool. I love that they've made it so that the more work you put in and level up, the more unlocks you get, and you can't buy your way toward those things. I enjoy that. So that's where I get worried about the Battle Pass's inclusion. If they do it right, then it could still stay the same. Another thing I really love about the game is the gunplay, bro. I just think Treyarch has always been great about gunplay. I've always preferred their gunplay to Activision.
Absolutely.
Even Infinity Ward, like I think Treyarch from Black Ops, when they did the first dolphin dive and it was like throwback, like legit, like first Black Ops game ever, there was a different feel to the weightiness of the game, and that weightiness has made its return. I love the grit of the gunplay, the gameplay. It's fast. The time to kill is clean. Guns sound beautiful. The suppressed guns sound how they should. They feel how they should. Tying it together with the PS5 and the way the adaptive triggers work, I've gotten even more grateful for that experience of gunplay. Loving that, bro. Game modes, loving that. Maps, I'm not that upset about these maps.
The maps I'm mixed on. I found the ones that I don't like and that I'll skip out on, and I found the ones that I do.
Yeah, I mean, two maps I definitely don't like is, I don't know what the name of the map is, but it's the one that's like in Italy and there's water all around the entire body of the map. I don't like that map.
Wow,
just not a big fan.
I can't even tell you which one that is.
And then there's one with the soccer field. I hate that map. The map
where you're in the stands and outside, and it's like you're on the stadium outside.
Yes, I don't like that map either. Now, this is the thing. I don't like those maps when it comes to domination, hardpoint, team death. But any of these maps, I'll play them on Surge. I love the way these maps are set up for the slowed down gameplay.
Okay.
And it's been a while since Call of Duty has made me feel like that.
Right.
And, I'll also say, first experience I had playing this game, Steven and I loaded up, my boy Locke, shouts Locke, and we just played Gunfight for like 3 hours, just 2v2. And man, what a way to kick off COD. It was just fun to do these 2v2s in apartment buildings and in the political building or like all these. It was vibes and getting used to the guns and how they feel. It was I really recommend, if you're somebody who likes competition and can handle a gunfight, when you get the game, if you haven't played it yet, start off with some Gunfight. It's a great way to begin.
For me, multiplayer wise, a map that I like is, I think Rewind is one that I enjoy.
Rewind's good.
Vault is my least favorite map in the game. I do not like Vault at all. They're playing Vault Domination. They put the C point at the bottom of a swimming pool, and so you just are at the lowest ground possible, just getting ready to straight up get fucked. It's no other way to explain it. But there's another like wood kind of cabin map I don't really much care for.
Sure.
Nuketown is always fun, but sometimes the way people play on Nuketown is frustrating. This is the best Nuketown we've had in a long time, by the way. I just want to point that out. And now zombies wise, bro, I mean, omnidirectional movement is something that a lot of people were very excited for. And is it cool in multiplayer? Absolutely. But I've found so much love for it in zombies. Being able to run and dodge left and dive over the zombies it's been great. And how much experience have you played in zombies?
I've played like maybe 4 or 5 matches now.
Okay.
I think the furthest I've gotten is about 20 rounds.
Okay, so I mean, I've played rounds of quite a few rounds on both maps. Some with Abe and Tyson, shout outs to y'all, and then some with Austin and Q. And Liberty Falls and Terminus. Do you have a preference on which map that you're liking more? Because I have an easy preference for me.
Terminus is the one that has the vault room in it, right?
With the underwater area with the squid. The Liberty Falls is the one with the vaults.
Liberty Falls is the one I prefer.
I prefer Terminus. Terminus, I like train. Because you see, there's people that play zombies for different reasons. I'm the train, shoot down the middle zombies, just rack up the kills kind of guy.
Yes. So
Terminus has been a lot of fun, especially that underground area.
Yeah.
But Liberty Falls is also really fun. I've gotten to, I think, round 43 on Liberty Falls, and then I've gotten to maybe like 35 on Terminus. And it's just, either way, I've been having a fun time. And it's so easy. I mean, it's, rounds 1 through 20, it's a vibe, and then you got to lock in. But Call of Duty has been fun, and I am excited to get around to the campaign and see if I fall on the side that seems to enjoy it or the side that seems to not.
Yeah, I started the campaign. I'm liking it so far, so we'll see. The moral of the story here is that this is one of the best Call of Duty experiences I've had in a while. I've been very disassociated from Call of Duty since 2020 when Warzone dropped. I have not enjoyed these Call of Duties very much. This feels like, I told Willie the other day when we had daylight savings, I stayed up from like 8:30 p.m. to like 4 a.m. with the extra hour included, just sitting here playing COD. And I haven't done that since I was like in college. So it's just fun to say that feel is back, that grit is back. I'm playing with guys who I haven't seen or talked to in years, and they're online like, yo, let's run it like the good old days. Like, I love that. Call of Duty will always have that. Fortnite has that for a different generation. This was what Fortnite did for, like, this style of multiplayer did for me when I was a kid. So to see that it still has the ability to compel is dope.
Yeah.
So shout outs to Black Ops.
I love that I get to be a part of both. I mean, straight up, I get to have it. Fortnite, GTA, and COD all together. Speaking of Fortnite, they are in an OG remix season for Chapter 2 of Fortnite for the next month, it seems. Chapter 2 is my favorite chapter of the Fortnite in the history books. And I just wanted to bring this up really quickly because I think people, and we've had this conversation before, and you said we need to spin the block. People need to start, despite their biases against Fortnite or their anger towards the way Fortnite has changed gaming, and instead of, blaming the people who decided to change up because of Fortnite, we're going to blame Fortnite itself. We need to have a dead-ass serious conversation that Fortnite deserves to be remembered as one of the greatest of all times to ever do it.
Easy.
Because they talked about an event. They had people show up in-game to a specific part in-game with a projector on the screen, and then Manhattan Building spawned in Fortnite, and then you were watching a concert in Times Square with thousands of people at that also.
Fire.
You telling me I watched Snoop Dogg and Ice Spice perform at a concert in Times Square off of my Fortnite in-game on a random Friday at 6:30? And then they ended off by showing that those high people are coming into the game and that they're doing a Juice WRLD collab and that we're in an old map. Fortnite is just doing it differently, straight up.
It's the closest thing to the Oasis from Ready Player One that we've experienced as gamers.
And Disney put $1 billion into the game, and we haven't even seen the fruits that are going to come from that. I just wanted to put it on the record again that I believe that Fortnite deserves to be discussed as a GOAT, because it is, and you're not going to convince me otherwise. No matter what anger or anything you have from it, you lose. I'm sorry, you lose.
I agree, bro. I agree big time. I'm excited about where it's going to go. And I always try to make a little return to 40. The gang gets tired of it. I won't lie. They act like they too grown to play it, but I'm one of those guys that's young at heart. You feel me? So let me know if you ever running it, you want to hop on. My little brother, soon he'll be hopping on too. Oh, no, let me keep this. Christmas coming up though.
So 18 years ago, Gears of War dropped on the Xbox. And 16 years ago, I believe, Gears of War 2 dropped on the Xbox.
Classico.
And to celebrate the 18th anniversary, Gears announced something that we had already known. I feel like we kind of thought it was true to form, but just in case anybody didn't hear about it or didn't think it, John DiMaggio and Carlos Ferrero are officially reprising their roles as Marcus and Dom for E-Day.
Wow.
And I think to celebrate 18 years with the people that made your first two games such a success, and to have them just come back and for 18 years be voicing these iconic characters is just beautiful.
Just tasteful. It's tasteful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, they've played them at so many different parts of their lives, and I'm just excited to experience Gears E-Day, Gears of War 3, and that entire first trilogy, Gears 4. I mean, Gears of War as a franchise overall is just such a close, connected thing between me and IV. So when E-Day drops, you best believe that I don't even know how long that Gears episode is going to be. If we split up each episode for each game, I don't know how we're going to handle it, but we are going to celebrate the franchise that arguably has had the biggest impact on you and I as cousins, just developing into our youthful years. So it's going to be
right up there with Star Wars.
It's going to be something. It's going to be something. So,
yes, sir. And you coming to my house so we could play or something. You know what I mean?
Something's got to happen, right?
You're going to have to come. You're going to have to sit right here next to me, and we're going to have to put on this. You know, sit in the living room. AK? Oh, I can't. Xbox.
You can't do that. You can't do that on Xbox.
Hey, listen, all I'm going to say is this. Gears is one of the only things Microsoft still has. I'll just be honest. In this console war, Gears is undeniably one of the things that Microsoft will always have. They stay strong, you know? So I'm excited to see what comes. I'm glad to hear the OGs are coming back. Big Gears energy over here. You know that.
Yeah. So from my end, I mean, I just want to ask you, because in our last Pulse, I had showcased and spoken about that I saw We Live in Time. And I know since then you have watched it. So do you want to update the people on your We Live in Time thoughts?
I thought that shit was mediocre. For those needing context, this is the new Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh movie that came out, filmed by A24, produced by A24. It wasn't garbage. It was just mediocre. It was just a mediocre kind of 7 out of 10 love movie. And I definitely set the expectations higher than I should have, because as two phenomenal actors, I just think I've been waiting for like a Stuck in Love. It's kind of a funny story. The Spectacular Now, The Notebook, About Time type vibe, and down to the way the story was creatively told. I really just felt like, I've seen this done better. And no slack for either the actors. They did great. But yeah, it was whatever. My wife and I, she kept looking at me like, is this almost done?
She said, like, damn, bro, you actually got me to come into the movie theater, watch this with you, and this is the shit I'm watching?
Last movie we had gone to go see was Inside Out 2, so it's pretty hard to match that.
Okay. Yeah, I recently watched Anora in theaters, and I might have some similar thoughts around just that in general, because I had actually seen a project from that film creator before called The Florida Project, but I think it's magnificent. And so I have my thoughts on Anora.
That's the one with Defoe, right?
Which one? Florida Project? Yes. And so with Anora, he had Mikey Madison, who was in Scream 5, and she was fantastic in Anora. I'm just still trying to figure out my thoughts overall. There's a lot of controversy surrounding the film, considering things like her audition tape was twerking videos of herself. There was no intimacy coordinator on set. The actors decided not to have that. But, sometimes you can make the argument that they might feel forced to do so by a creator. So there's that. And there's a lot of scenes in that movie that you would think would need an intimacy coordinator. So, and overall, there have been questions concerning whether or not the creator even should be making films like this. And why does this Florida Project, Anora type vibe seem to be his vibe when nothing in his own history would showcase that it would mean something meaningful to him? I don't necessarily think you need to judge people based on the films they decide to make, but after a while and after all the other news articles, you do begin to kind of wonder what's up. And so maybe he'll come out at some point and talk about why he decides. I know the Florida Project has a documentary that talks about the making behind it, so that is a good place to start. But that's my most recent movie going experience. And Gladiator 2 drops soon, so I'm excited to be going to see that, because I have a lot of goats of mine in that movie. Joseph Quinn as our new Human Torch. He looks crazy.
He does.
Pedro Pascal, Reed Richards, he looked good.
Denzel, baby. Paul Mescal of After Sun fame. NIB still has let me down, bro. No, I know.
So, that's coming out. And last but not least, last news piece that I just want a small bit of your feelings on, just a small bit, because this could go on forever. And I'm going to say something very quick about this. According to Deadline, today it was announced supposedly that we are getting a new Star Wars trilogy, episodes 10 through 12, to continue possibly the Skywalker saga. But there are insiders disputing that it will continue the story and instead it will start something new. My thoughts for you, just to sum it up very quickly, is I've been getting movies announced for Star Wars since 2019 when The Rise of Skywalker ended. It has been 5 years, and not a single one of those announced movies have been finished production or put on my screen. So I will believe this when I see a trailer with a release date and can buy my tickets and I have my ass sat in the theater. Until then, it's just thoughts in my empty head, bro. What am I excited for next? The next Star Wars project, and that's how I'll be moving. Skeleton Crew, you're almost here.
I echo your sentiments. We'll see what happens when we get there, but I'm always down for new shit. You know that. And I think Star Wars has an endless well of cool stuff to tie and go deeper into always, and it's been done well sometimes. It's been trash sometimes. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But one last thing I want to say before we get out of here, and we thank you for joining us here at Pulse, is when it comes to the idea of movies, I went and I watched Dune 2 again. And you know what's crazy? If you listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and you can't see me pointing right now, but I got my Apple, AirPod Pro, AirPod Maxes on. When you got an Apple TV, you could connect the pros to the TV, and then you can have a movie experience on your couch. I watch that shit like that. It's still movie of the year, 2024. So I'm real excited. We're almost done. There's only so many more. Movie of the year. Get ready for the movie of the year. It's going to be great. There hasn't been a lot of games of the year. There hasn't been a lot of, honestly, Astro's Playroom, Astro World, whatever it was called, might win game of the year. We gonna see. It's been an interesting year all across the board to see who wins and reigns supreme on the other end of the year. It's gonna be fun. We'll cover it. That's what we do here at CUZZO-OP. Right. So we're excited about it, man.
Yeah,
but
And TV wise, Arcane season 2.
Arcane's coming.
That's a good question. We'll see what happens with it.
Arcane's coming. We heard we going back to Cyberpunk for something when it comes to Netflix. I'm excited. There's a lot of come on. We'll see how it goes. But anyways, man, we thank you for joining us for another Pulse episode, Pulse4 IV, Pulse IV, you know what I mean? We're glad that you joined us. Anybody that would appreciate hearing a pulse of what's going on with entertainment stuff, send this over to them along with our thoughts so that they can take a listen and you guys can chat. Comment on YouTube if you have something to say about anything that we've mentioned, or maybe we missed a piece of news. Also, respond to us on Spotify if you have any questions as well. We thank you for joining us here at CUZZO-OP. Know every time you tap in with us, you're always going to find 3 things. That's 2 cousins, 1 podcast, and endless entertainment. Until next time.